What's up, everybody? Today's episode is a little different. We're sitting outside enjoying the sun, but I got somebody special with me today. Actually, this person has grown on to me for the past year, and I've really gotten the chance to know this person. Some people may know him, some people may not, but this guy's got some wisdom. Everybody, say what's up to my boy Jayden Williams. Jayden, my boy, what's good, man? How you been doing, bro?
Good, man. Life is good. On to a new transition, but you know, I'm blessed, man. I'm super blessed.
That's actually what we're gonna talk about today. Is just a whole lot of different things that Jayden is facing, but also has challenged him in good ways. But before we get into that, Jay, like, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. What are some things that you would like to tell us about yourself? Or if somebody would say, this is who Jayden is, what would you describe him as? You know, just tell us anything, bro.
So, some things I'll say about me, I think you know too. I love basketball. I love basketball. I love working out. I have a brother, I have a sister. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. Been here at this wonderful place for 5 years, and I'm actually getting my master's right now in business administration. So that's some things about me.
This guy is on the move. You just finished playing basketball this past season. Tell me a little bit about that, man. You're done with basketball, playing basketball at the collegiate level, man. How was that when the season ended? And, you know, moving forward, you still think about hooping?
To be honest, let me tell you, Arnold, yesterday actually.
Okay, all right.
I seen a basketball outside by Fry, and I picked it up and I started dribbling, doing moves, and I was like, I truly miss it. I truly miss the ups and downs of it, because I feel like it has taught me just so much about life and what I'm about to get into in this new chapter. And so I miss it. And then, for example, today, I trained somebody today right before I left, and it was just like, you know, this basketball, it carries on for life. I feel like it teaches you life lessons, and then when I move back home, I can continue to keep doing that. And so I just think my experience here with just basketball has taught me so many just different things, as in just like, it's really just preparing me for the future. That's what I would say. And so I'm grateful for just the struggles. I'm grateful for the blessings. And I'm grateful for just everything that it really brought me. And I'm just super blessed about because basketball has really taken me everywhere around the world. And so it was a good experience, a super good experience.
For sure. And I'm sure that's something that we're going to talk about today, like as far as the more we continue to talk about this topic. But today's topic, guys, we're talking about just the process of growth, the growth process, the growth season, what it brings, the challenging things, the good things. Jayden, I feel like that's just been all you this past year, is all about change, because that's what growth is. Growth is change, and sometimes whenever you are growing or facing change, it's uncomfortable. And we've seen you in that area. You know, me and Jay, we share an office here while we work together, you know, and we just kind of talk about the moments that kind of just lead us to be a little bit uncomfortable. And so, you know, that's just one of the things we're going to talk about today. Is just what the growth process looks like. What's your growth process been looking like? What are your ups? What are your downs? What have you learned? What will you not do again, you know? And that's just what the growth process is. But let's talk a little bit about what's about to happen. Jay, you're about to go into the real world. You kind of got a glimpse of it this past year, where you did something that not a lot of people will do. Taking a position such as the one that we're in, where we're over the dorms, still doing sports, still holding your teammates accountable at the same time. And then also, like, a guy your caliber, like, doing what we do. A lot of times we look like snitches. A lot of times we look like, hey, just being real. I'm just being real. It happens, you know.
No, for
but
real.
it's for real. And for you to take on a job like that and still play alongside your homeboys, and also do a master's and do all that, like, that's a lot. Tell me about this past season, playing basketball, doing a master's program, getting that degree, and then on top of that, working, managing friendships, managing family. Like, bro, that's a lot. Like, already, sports alone is already a lot. What did this past season teach you, and what can you tell us about the growth, man?
It really taught me balance.
Ooh,
that's the word, bro. Balance. It taught me balance. And I say that because I had so much, like you say, you name all that stuff, right? I was stressed out, man. I was very vulnerable, very kind of like, go back to my old ways, go back it was just, God was stretching me. Yeah. And I'm so happy that he did that, because it's taught me now, when I hit this real world, I just have to, it's gonna prepare me, basically. Yeah. And so I just think during that season, I learned how to manage certain things that I never thought I could manage.
Yeah.
It was certain situations where I was working, going to practice, come back home, and at that time I had a girlfriend too. Mm-hmm. And so I would have to be with her, then plus do my master's homework. Yeah. So it was just super long days, and I was just asking God, just give me strength. Yeah. Just give me strength to get through this and be the best version of myself. And I asked him that every day, because it was just something where I never thought I was gonna be able to get through it. Yeah, and I had conversations with my dad, conversations with my mom, and just telling them, like, because I had games where I struggled, and we talked about it. I had games where I struggled, and I felt like I wasn't being the best version of myself, but I knew at the end of the day, if I just kept working hard and kept being Jay, it was gonna all work out in my favor. And it did, actually. Yeah. And it wasn't the best season that I thought it was gonna be, but it was the best season that I learned from, and probably it's probably one of the best seasons that I learned from and took from, and I'm gonna take later on in life, that's what I would say. Because I'm gonna have so much stuff when I get into this real world, and I'm gonna be thinking about this time when I had my master's, had just basketball, had this job, and had to deal with my RAs, had to do this, had to deal with hard things when I didn't want to deal with them. Yeah. And so it's just
dealing with those hard things you don't ever want to do, but I think it's put you in a spot now where you've prepared yourself for what's to come. It's not blindsiding you. You've taken into account all the external factors. Like, one thing we talked about is like, I got to find a place to stay, applying jobs. Some work out, some don't. And that can come with a lot of stress. And so one thing about Jay is that whenever Jay, through this entire season where Jay talked about balance, where he's balancing everything, I swear, I ain't never see Jay have a bad day. Visibly, you couldn't see it, but I think he kept pushing forward in those moments. And I remember telling you one time, and I think, whenever you're smiling visibly and you're also carrying yourself that way, it changes something in your mind and your perspective, and it helps you keep going forward. But I remember watching the AAC games, and while you're playing basketball, Jay, like, those were hard games for the guys, but the last game that you guys lost, I thought Jay was going to be upset, and so I'm looking for Jay on the court while I'm watching it live. And Jay is over there smiling, saying what's up to the other coaches and saying what's up. Like, I'm just like, this dude, he is a strong individual. Like, I would find it very hard to be able to keep smiling in a time like that, you know what I'm saying? I felt like that would be very, very difficult. But somebody like Jay, you carry yourself like that, and how positive you are, optimistic, and planning you are leads you for that success. I think also, like, thinking about the season, I think you were also like, hey, I'm ready for what's to come from it. We continue to move forward, that's great. But if not, I'm also, hey, it's been a good season, It was, yeah. Is it ever challenging to have that mindset and that perspective?
It is, and that's why I say why. Because some people test you. Some people put you in a vulnerable spot where they know that you're not in a good mindset, and sometimes they test you. But at the end of the day, I feel like God put me here just to bring out that positivity. Because some people need it. And I've seen it just like with certain situations I just took a trip to Honduras. And I told you a little about that, but it was just like me having that smile on my face and me being happy can help somebody else that's going through certain things. And I'm not saying that people don't go through certain things, and it's just your impact on somebody else can really change their lives. And I truly believe that, and I truly hold myself, no matter who it is, no matter what they're going through, I want to be there for that person at that given time, because you just never know. And because I was once that person that needed somebody. My dad has always been there for me, and I appreciate that man. I can give him a call right now while we're on this podcast, and he'll answer and be like, what's up, Jay?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Brighten my day. And my mom, the same thing. My little brother. It's like I have people in my life that has showed me that, and I want to continue that as I move on to this life, because I know some people in this world that they don't have that, and I want to bring that, you know what I mean? So
how important is it for you, like, since you're talking about being that example, how is it important for you to be that example for other people? Why did you be motivated to do that for other people?
Because I once wasn't that person.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
It's a part of my testimony. And I had a hard year during high school, my sophomore year, and I wasn't a good person, man. I really wasn't a person. a godly person. That's what I would say. And since that time, I have changed my ways because my dad was telling me like, Jay, you're not being humble. You're not. That's why this stuff is happening to you. And so I've always been that humble person, no matter if I'm doing good or bad. Sometimes you have to be confident. That's just something you have to do to show, But I just feel like humbleness goes a long way, and God blesses you when you're doing the right thing, trying to be the best person you've been, and just actually spreading His word too. And that's something I've been learning too. Like no matter what you're going through, spread that word, spread that grace, spread what he has in that Bible. And so it's something that is good, and that's why I do that, because I really was once that person that didn't care about just myself, and I was selfish. And I don't want to become that person ever again, because I just see how bad life was at that time. And I was a sophomore in high school, so I didn't even think I should. Some people don't even know, but it's just like I just felt I wasn't being who I was supposed to be, and people checked me, and I'm glad they checked me.
Yeah. And that takes growth. You having to realize like, okay, I got to make some type of difference in my life, and I can just imagine that probably wasn't an easy process. Like having to be humble, not be selfish, that contradicts everything the world already teaches you. It's saying like, a lot of times you can think about how am I going to succeed, rather how's my team going to succeed, how's other people going to succeed. And I can see that whenever you, in different areas, Jay, where I would see you operate within your gifts on the court, off the court with people, it takes a strong-minded person to be able to say, it's not about me, it's about the people around me, And, talk about the trip in Honduras. Like, I know going up there was very eye-opening for you. And then, like, what did you bring back from there that kind of helped you grow moving forward? Because I know y'all saw some stuff down there.
Yeah, I saw so much life-changing stuff. And one thing that I say that was the main thing was just perspective. Yeah. That's the big word.
Perspective.
Perspective is the big word. Yeah. That's the big word. And I say that because over here where we at, we see all this. It's so nice. We really got it made over here.
Yeah, we got it made.
We got it. You see this waterfall. They have the beach. I'm not gonna lie. They have the beach. It's super nice down there. But it's like, them people were so happy with just little.
With the little.
And that's why I say just with my growing phase, I'm blessed. I have never wanted for anything. My people have supported me, and that's why I was saying, I'm just super, super blessed. And so when I seen that they was happy with just little, I came back over here and I was like, man, I know I'm struggling with the job. I'm trying to find my job. I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find that. I'm trying to find what's next. But at the end of the day, I got a job.
Yeah.
I got good people around me.
Yeah.
I have a family.
Yep.
And I have a good life. So it's like, why would I be selfish and be like, oh, this is not working in my favor, and letting it come easy instead of God just working through me and preparing me. Yeah. And so I just feel that Honduras really just really changed my perspective. And I feel like I've always had that kind of perspective, but seeing that in person was a crazy experience. And I think it impacted all the guys on my team.
Yeah,
and and it's crazy, we bonded closer than I ever, even during the battle. We bonded close, during the season. And so it's just, I just felt like I met so many different kids, met so many different people, and I'm remembering the people. I still have them people on Instagram, and they liking my stuff, and just.
That's something that would never be taken away from you because you experienced it in person. And that's amazing. I think it's like you said, perspective is a big thing in life. If you have a bad perspective in life, then you're not going to grow in life. If you always think about like, man, I need to have this or I need to have that, rather than saying, I'm going to grow with this that I have, with the little that I have. Like a lot of times, like, it's also saying like God is going to bless you. He's going to bless you regardless, but he's going to see what you do with the little before he gives you the more, He can't give you more if you're not appreciative of the little things that you have. And so like you talking about that, like I've been in the same season, like, I'm having to learn contentment, I think that I have a good life right now, but sometimes I miss it because I'm trying to chase the bigger picture, which is like, man, I need to be making a little bit more money, doing what I want to do.
And that's everybody, I feel like, too.
Yeah.
But it's a healthy way you do that, too, though.
There is.
And I feel like for everyone, we have this certain type of lifestyle, type of goal that we want. But God has this type of plan that we will never understand. And
exactly.
I'm learning that now in this process.
Yeah.
You will never understand what he has planned until you just really just be patient and take that time with him and really just sit in it.
Yeah.
Just sit in it. And so, I just feel like I say, everybody has this want and this goal to be where they want to be, but at the end of the day, he's going to show you, and it's going to be a process through that, and he's going to teach you so many different things, and you just have to look at it in a whole type of different perspective.
Yeah, I think a lot of people take a chance at life, but they don't take a chance at God.
Yeah.
they don't say, God, I'm gonna give you a chance, rather than like, I'm gonna take a chance at this particular thing in my life. Yeah. And a lot of times, like when you chance life, life sometimes just keeps rolling without you and smack you right in the mouth and have a realization that you're not prepared. But sometimes whenever you're with God and you're taking a chance with God, there's grace, there's love, there's abundance, there's new seasons, some seasons that end up closing. There's a whole lot more with God. But sometimes we put our chances in the wrong things, you know. I'm putting my chance in this job. I'm putting my chance in this. And I think that's why your growth has been tremendous, because at the end of the day, you've let God take control. Because
I really, and I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I really didn't know what I was doing in this job.
That's what I was about to say.
And
yeah.
I really didn't know how everything goes. I was just trusting him.
Yeah.
And I told my mom, I was like, I don't know if I'm prepared for this.
Yeah.
I don't know what. And she was like, Jay, do it. And I'm so happy that I took this job, because it's changed my life.
Yeah.
It has changed my perspective on so many different things, on different people. I've learned how to talk to so many different people, and it's just like, I think it's gonna prepare me for the business world job or something that I'm gonna do later on. And so I'm so grateful for this place, like I say, and grateful for just that opportunity I had being an RD.
You also we talked about it in the office before, talking about like maturity, how you have matured within this process. And like also, when Jay started, he was kind of thrown in there, ain't even gonna lie. Like Jay kind of had to learn a whole lot of things, and he had to really be stretched, because that's what the growth process is you being stretched. And whenever you're being stretched, sometimes it's painful. Sometimes you don't understand why you're being stretched. Sometimes it's one of those things that you don't want to do, but at the end of the day, it has to be done, because it's the betterment of your growth. And I think I saw you in that area of just being stretched, and you be willing to learn rather than just saying, I don't understand this, I give up. Because too many people give up too soon, right before they meet their full potential, you know? And so like, seeing you in that light, being stretched, never giving up, maybe not understanding what's going on, but you asking the questions that later led you to the growth. And I think that has taught you to push even more. Because we know for a fact, you can push on the basketball field. That, like on the basketball court, like you can push all day, because that's just in you. But pushing in another area is sometimes harder, you know?
And that's something and to tell just somebody that has really grown with me during this stage was JC.
Yeah.
He has always taught me.
He's seen you in the basketball, he's seen you in this professional
He's seen
area.
me where he was like, Jay, you're just not a basketball player. And he told me that. That's when I first got this job, he said, Jay, you're just not a basketball player. Oh. And you about to see that. Because I always had a identity of basketball. That's all I did. It was basketball, this, basketball, that. And so I just felt like basketball was my world. That's all I knew. Workout, basketball. I mean, go basketball, just do this hoop. That's really all it was. And so I felt like this job has taught me that I'm more than basketball. And it taught me so many just different things in that. And it's taught me I've taught certain things to my family that they didn't quite know.
Yeah.
And so it's a good thing, man. It's a truly good thing.
The part of saying you're not just a basketball player, I remember him telling you that several times, and how you're about to be stretched a lot. And I think it's always good to realize, I'm more than that. There's more out there for Jay, for Arnold, other than just being that one thing that people know you for. Yeah. And how did that change your perspective, bro? Like just saying, like him saying you're more than just a basketball player.
It's really just changed, if I can put it in words, it made me want to do more. Like it made me want to go out and do more. Like I remember when I first got the job, I really wasn't like, I didn't like speaking to like in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I was never just a pub, and I still can work on that in certain ways. But now I feel like I'm getting a lot better at it because of this job, because of
it stretched you.
It stretched me.
Yeah.
It had to.
Yeah.
It put me in certain situations where I was like, Jay, you either gotta get this done or you just gonna go by the wayside. It is what it is. But I was like, I want to be the best version of myself. I want to stretch myself. Like I never thought I was gonna speak at the chapel and do the scripture reading.
Exactly, yeah.
I never thought that. But they asked me to do it, and I could easily say, no, I don't want to do it. But I said, no, I want to do it. And actually, this podcast, I could have easily said no. But I said, I want to do it because it's an experience, it's something where I can learn from, and it's something I might want to do. I might love doing. So
exactly,
it's like,
yeah.
And I'm actually loving this. Actually.
Yeah.
So it's just something where like he taught me just that, do more.
Yeah.
Do more than basketball. And my dad has taught me that too, but it's just I was seeing it, and I was seeing how this job has stretched me so much that I believe that I can do more now.
Yeah, that's the thing with, I like what you said, like we talked about like potential and doing more. I think a lot of times here in life and in the growth process, a lot of potential comes up in the area. What potential is possibly what can come. That's what it is. But potential only becomes realistic or a reality when you actually are driving towards that. Like it doesn't, at that point, it doesn't become potential, it becomes a skill or it becomes a gift. But a lot of people stay at potential, that it's like you possibly may get here, you may possibly get there, because that's what potential is. It's like you have the potential to be great. Yeah. That means you have the opportunity to be great. Yeah. But the other half of it is saying you got to grow to get there. Yeah. And so just talking about potential, I always try to let everybody know that your potential can go through the roof. Like you can grow, you can be the best athlete, you can be the best speaker, you can be the best friend, this and that. But it doesn't happen overnight, and you have to put in the effort in that. You know?
And to put it with basketball, I'm gonna take it in the basketball experience. Like when I first started playing basketball, I wasn't this dude that I am now. Like I was never. It was all work. It was
you weren't getting them stats.
I wasn't getting the accolades or doing that and doing that. It was more of like I had to put in the work. Yeah. And that's what I'm, like I said, my dad, he's taught me that just in general. He was like, Jay, nothing's gonna get handed to you in this life. Sure. God can paint the picture, but you can't sit down and not do nothing, not get up and go to, you gotta put in the work. And so potential is everybody has potential. Oh yeah. But are you gonna get up and grow and do what you need, learn and put in that work and do all that? It all comes together. Yeah. It's a process. Yeah. And so I felt like I learned that, because I had days where, bro, I don't want to get up and do this. But it's like, am I gonna give up? Yeah, that's everybody. Everybody has days where, I don't feel like doing nothing. Yeah. I don't feel like, but it's like, it's been so instilled in me, because I see my dad and my mom get up every day. My dad get up at 4 a.m. every day and go work. And he don't want to, but he going there every day just to provide for us. It's like,
not easy.
Yeah. So it's like, why would I make an excuse that I can't get up and he has provided all this for me? Yeah. So it's like, it's just, I feel like that's something that I'm gonna take forever in my life. And no matter if it's a tough time, a good time, I'm gonna keep working, because it's all I did in basketball. No matter if it was a good game, bad game, I just knew to work. Yeah. So
that's a good mentality to have, and obviously having a good balance with that. But kind of talking about like your mom and dad, like having those people who push you in life and really know that you have that great potential, but saying, now let's make it a reality. I think it's always important that us as people, that we help people through that growth process. Sure. Like be that person that pushes somebody else to do something. Be that person to say, hey, you got this idea? Hey, let's magnify it times 10, and I want to work alongside you with that, And I think it's always good for you to be that person for somebody else. If somebody's been that for you, why not be that for somebody else? Because everybody in this world needs some type of push, especially in the society we live now. Like everybody nowadays need a push, because once COVID hit, all this different stuff, it really made us soft. I'm not gonna lie. It made us all soft. Like we can't handle any type of advice, even if we ask for it, which is crazy. Yeah. Like be like, hey, give me some advice, and then you're like, no, you dish it out. Yeah. But I think sometimes like we're getting to a time where everybody's just kind of getting soft. But I think we need to be those people that push people and say, hey, you need to get back on track. You need to get back on track with that potential.
And I think that's why I'm here for just anyone that I love. Yeah. If I truly love somebody, I'm gonna push you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If I'm not pushing you, I don't care about it. That's just the truth about the situation. I feel like people that love you and truly care about you, they're gonna push you to the best person you should be. Yeah. And I want that for somebody that loves me. And my dad, I see my dad, they love me so hard that they gonna make sure that I'm the best version of myself every day. And so it's just something where, and now I have a little brother, and we're trying to make him to be better than me, than my dad. And so it's like, it's something where, I'm happy that he's seeing me do this and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because of he's looking up to me. Yeah. And it's something where my dad has always taught me he wants to continue the legacy. That's what he calls it.
For sure, yeah.
And so
you gotta keep it going.
Yeah.
Legacy is a big deal, and that's why a lot of people get scared. It's like, where does the legacy go from here? Because some people say, like, with me it dies off, but it's like, well, not really. If you keep it going, the legacy gonna keep going, Another big thing, and maybe we'll try to wrap up with this, is we're talking about now the season you're about to go into. You just got out of a season of growth and you're going into another one. And sometimes people look at growth as a painful process, you know, and sometimes it is, depends on what you're going through. But how does it feel going from one growth process to another? And how are you preparing yourself for that, bro?
Really? I'm really preparing myself by, if I can, it's really the support system that I have for sure.
Yeah.
That's preparing me, and also God.
Yeah,
Talking
for
to
sure.
Him more,
That's
praying
number one.
more,
Yeah.
and just really learning. Like I did something. It was something with Elevation Church. I can't remember exactly, but I was in a season of my life, and it was something. Me and JC kind of talked about it, and it was just saying that, like, you know, God is preparing you for something.
Yeah.
You will never know what He's gonna do, but He's preparing you for it. And so I can be fearful, I can be scared, but I know He got a plan up there.
When you got that source, you ain't worried about
You're not
nothing,
worried about
you know?
nothing. And sometimes you have them thoughts later on at night. You're like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's
Yeah.
But it's just like, at the end of the day, you keep going, you keep praying, you keep waking up. He keep giving you another day. You keep working hard, keep
you
grinding,
blessed.
and just keep going. And at the end of and that's how I feel like some people don't reach their potential. They stop.
Yeah.
And that's something I told myself, I'm never gonna stop because of it's not going my way.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
it's not what I want right now. And so I just feel like this season, I'm so happy this season happened before this next season because it's a process.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what God has in store for this next season, but I know it's gonna be ups and downs, and I know at the end of the day, I'm gonna go towards Him, and I'm gonna have that good support system like my mom, my dad, and I know they're gonna help me within this. And so it's just something where I'm so grateful just to be able to really just have that and
be in this position.
Be in this position, to
Yeah,
be
for
honest.
sure.
And so, yeah.
Yeah. I recently, I was at youth and they asked me to speak on some type of topic, you know. Right now it's summertime and I told all the youth students, I was like, listen, right now you're in summertime. Everything is good. I mean, you're enjoying life, you're enjoying what you're doing, you don't have homework, you don't have to deal with drama at school. Sometimes you get a little extra hangout time with your friends. I told them, but the summertime is usually where athletes train, the off season. I told them this is the off season. But the title of my message was Calm Before the Storm. It's always calm before the storm. The other day, literally the day that I preached that message, a storm came down, bro. Not kidding. It was beautiful right before the storm hit. Then you see those dark clouds come in. Sometimes you have to prepare before the storm hits you. And Scripture tells us that. Like, it tells us that in James that we're going to face these different trials, and that sometimes we're going to face the troubles that we're facing are not different from anybody else. Like, everybody else faces them. But he tells us, like, peace be with you. He tells us that if I'm with you, then who can be against you, you know? And so, like, I'm not telling everybody that's listening to this right now, I'm not telling everybody what to do. I'm just telling you what's made me successful and what's made me endure the growth process is realizing that it's calm before the storm. It looks great and amazing. It might be sunny out, but once you see those clouds and you see them coming, that's whenever you need to start preparing because you know the storm is coming. I pray that we don't have as many storms as we need to have or that we experience, but the storms are coming, and so you need to do what you can to grow and be able to protect yourself before that time, you know?
Because if I can piggyback on it, life is hard.
Oh, yeah.
Life is, no matter who you is, I know you can have everything. Life is hard. Like,
Yeah.
life is something that we don't never understand why we go through these certain things.
Why this happens,
But
you know?
that's why we have Him, because He understands. And so that's something where, you know, like you say, prepare yourself.
Yeah.
You have to prepare yourself, because if you don't, that's when you're doing certain things that you shouldn't be doing. That's when you're getting caught up in the wrong crowd. You're making decisions where you take another step back into where you was at. And that's something where that's something that's big when I move back home.
Yeah.
Don't take a step back.
Oh, exactly.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Keep
for
being Jay. Keep being the Jay that you learned when you was here.
Yeah.
And so,
And the best resource to help you through growth is the Bible, man. You see so many stories of people being stretched, having to have tremendous amount of faith. People were needing healing for certain things, and all they had to cling on at that point was Jesus, and they had that faith. And so if you guys are looking for a resource, it's Scripture. If you want to know what Scripture to read, reach out to me, reach out to Jay. Like, we know where to look at, but I think the greatest resource is knowing, like, that God has had a plan, and in that plan, it's been written down in Scripture. Like He's telling us, like, hey, you're gonna face trials, you're gonna face it, you're gonna face that. I still think it's crazy that He wrote it like it was written a long time ago, and yet that it's living word. Like each and every day, it's showing itself that, like, hey, this never dies out. This book ain't never too old. The knowledge never it fades away, but it's continually growing, and this growth process, definitely do it with people, have people by your side. But the biggest thing I would say is how I deal with the growth process is having people in my life. But number one is God. God's got to be in my corner, because I know I'm dumb sometimes, make mistakes, and I need a different kind of source that is not people, because people fail you all the time, but like I need God, and that's one thing I realize each and every day. And one thing you said about life is hard. Kevin Hart said it one time, and it was like a really good quote. He said, life don't wait for nobody. It just keeps on moving each and every day. And if you don't keep on moving with it, you're gonna be left behind. And then later on, you're gonna you ain't gonna be able to catch up,
It's crazy you say that. My dad told me that when I was in middle school.
Really?
He said that same exact thing you just said.
Yeah.
He said, decisions that you make now the decisions that you make now is gonna affect you later on in life.
Yeah.
So every little decision, that's why I tell people this. Whatever decision you make, and I tell people, my RAs, I told my residents, when they was getting in trouble, every decision you make has a consequence, no matter good or bad.
Yeah.
And so God gives us that free will.
Oh yeah.
He gives us that. So we make certain decisions, and whatever decision we make, it affects us.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I just think, like you say, that being prepared is super, super important.
Oh yeah.
Because
Hands
if you're
down.
not prepared, you get lost.
Yeah.
And you just, like you say, fall by the wayside. That's what I would call it.
Exactly, yeah. My coach used to say back when doing football, and stuff like that, he always say, hey, if you're not prepared, they're gonna come on Friday night and smack you in the mouth. And you're gonna look at that scoreboard and you're gonna be upset because you lost 50-something to 0. And it's just like, well, did you prepare? And so, yeah, every one of your actions have a consequence. I just wish more people would grasp that, though. Yeah. Like, if you don't prepare, you don't expect to be the greatest of all time when you don't prepare. Or don't expect to make money when you haven't even applied to a job. Don't expect to be in a godly relationship with another girl, another guy, when you have not even set out the principles of what you want and you're not living it. Yeah. So it's like, you gotta prepare. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. If you don't prepare, life gonna smack you in the mouth. But if you prepare with God, you lack nothing. You lack nothing. You grow each and every day, And so that's a whole another topic. But I love talking about that stuff. But Jay, as you can see, the sunlight is coming down on us. It's a pretty view, man. Wonderful. This is the last time me and Jay are going to be together, because my boy is moving on to bigger, better things, But Jay, I just want to say, man, I'm proud of you. This podcast really showcases just a glimpse of the growth that you've been doing and the man you've turned into. And I can confidently say Jay is going to succeed in life. Like, I don't have to worry about Jay. And so, like,
thank you, bro.
Man, it's been a pleasure working with you. It really has. Like, it's going to suck not having you in the office anymore, talking to you about just random things, talking to you about relationships, talking to you about life, talking to you about basketball, sports, all these different things, man. But, like, I'm excited for you, because this is just another step that God has for Jay and for what he has in Jay's life. And you're an amazing friend, an amazing person to mentor other people. And I really hope that this new season opens that door for you, man. And I hope you get to hoop a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Hoop a little bit,
Me too. Beat up on my little brother. That's what I'm gonna try to do.
Listen, I've seen clips of your brother.
No, he's tough.
Young man cold. I would hate to be on the basketball court with that.
No, he's tough. He's gonna be really good.
Yeah, man.
He's really good. And I have to say one thing too, man. I'm so appreciative of you.
Hey, man, appreciate it.
Nah, for real, man. You have taught me so much, so many different things, man. And so just dealing with my job, dealing with life, and I'm gonna take that, bro.
Yeah,
and keep being you, keep being Arnold, bro. And that's one thing that I've seen, and I'm happy to say that I share the office with you, because just your spirit, just who you are as a person. If I see it just in our office. Yeah, bro. Like, every day you come in there with a smile. Sometimes you got a lot of energy. And I'm like, what is he on today? Like, what is he doing? But it's just, it gives us that good spirit, and it brightens my day, to be honest. Because some days I'm like, oh, like, I'm tired. But, I keep that smile, because it's like, that's what's going to get me through my day. Yeah, but it's something, that spirit about you, bro, keep that. Because
Appreciate
no
you,
matter
man.
what you're going through, no matter if you're struggling, keep that spirit, bro.
Yeah,
because
bro.
people see that, and it's a blessing, bro. Not
Yeah,
many
man.
people have that, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And so I'm just grateful for you and grateful for just what you taught me in
Yeah,
this season, to be honest.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate that. Like, I take those into account. But I'm thankful for you, man, and I hope that this new season goes well for you. But hey, thank you guys for joining on the podcast. We hope that you guys enjoy it. Hey, just keep on purpose chasing at the end of the day. Find what God has for you, build a relationship with God, build his kingdom, and continue to make disciples out here, which is what me and Jay are doing. So, Jay, thanks for joining me on this podcast, man, and I hope that life treats you well after this. You guys, hey, peace out. Girl Scout, that camera went out. Come say what's up to this camera right here, Jay. Hey, yeah. Say, hey, scoot down there. Yeah. Deuces, man, deuces.